Daniel Sturridge. First, just general reflections, Micah, on that game and what we can take away from it at this very early stage of the season.
I think the reflections are Man City is still going to be the side to beat. In terms of, you thought, how were they going to start the season? Was it going to be flat? I know previous seasons they've started it with a couple of losses, but today, in terms of control, they knew exactly what they needed to do. They moved the ball really well. Everyone knows their positions. And it's just typical Manchester City again. I mean, you're looking at tactically, would they do anything different? Bernardo comes, drops a little bit deeper, knows exactly what he needs to do. We had a debut from Savinho, who looked really well before he got injured. But Man City are just a joy to watch. I mean, they really do just punish teams. And even when Chelsea looked like they was going to get back into the game, it was big moments. We talked about Nicholas Jackson before the game, and is he a top striker? Because I really liked him. Last season, I thought he did really well. I thought it was just the key moment. And again, we're saying exact same things today. He had two chances today, one where he shouldn't have been offside, and the other where it was a difficult chance. But I know maybe a top striker might just go either side of Ederson.
Yeah, when you're saying shouldn't have been offside, you're not saying the decision was wrong. You mean that in terms of his own positioning.
Well, in terms of movement. So for me and Jamie, and it's no disrespect to Jamie, when the goal opportunity comes, we get a little bit excited. When it's a striker, it's natural for them to sort of hold their line, and then when to react and stay on side. And he just gambled too early, and these are all the things that he needs to get better at if he wants to be a top striker at Chelsea.
And that's the difference between someone like Nicholas Jackson and, look, it's unfair sometimes to compare anyone to Erling Haaland because he's head and shoulders, sometimes literally above everyone else. But that's the difference, isn't it? That's the levels we're talking about here.
It is, yeah. And, I think Nicholas Jackson has great potential, to be honest. I do believe he has potential to be able to score goals in the Premier League. Now, he's obviously been put in a position where he's playing. See, we got Mr. Erling Haaland coming in now.
And that's
so
why we're making the comparisons, because if anybody's started this season brilliantly, it is Erling Haaland. Erling, thanks so much for coming over to talk to us. Here would be perfect. Thank you. So, start with a win, start with a goal. It looks like the perfect start for you. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, 3 points and perfect start.
How was that? How was the game for you? How did you find it coming back? First game back in the Premier League, particularly after this summer when a lot of players have been away and there are just a couple of players coming back to full Premier League fitness.
Yeah, first games is always hard, for everyone. It doesn't matter if you had a preseason or you didn't have I actually had a quite long preseason, so that's good. So I don't feel perfect because I'm not in the perfect shape, but yeah, it's good to start and to win.
Yeah, and good to get that opening goal, Daniel.
Yes, talk to me about the goal. The way the pass was played into you, you took it, and you managed to sneak your way through. I want you to tell me from your perspective how it felt in the moment.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember last year, he had a great save on me, Sanchez, because he always stays a lot on the line. So that's why I took a couple extra touches, and then he's rushing out, and then I knew exactly what to do.
Cheeky dink.
Yeah, I think it was a really good goal.
So Erling, is that what's going through your head? You're thinking, I know what he did against me last season. He didn't let me score that time. I'm not going to do that again. This time around, I will score against him.
I remember for the last year, it's been irritating me for a long time. So that's why I took a couple extra touches, and then, yeah, it was a perfect goal.
How important as well, you've got that right arm out. Cucurella tries to stop you and you just use your strength just to get some balance, and then obviously the finish as well. Just there, that strong right arm.
Yeah, and also with Colwill as well, to get it past him. So yeah, it was a nice goal.
I mentioned on when we was in the studio, the first touch was with the right. It was right left combination. And me as a left-footed attacker as well, when those balls are coming in on the right foot, it's like, make sure the first touch is right. Make sure the first touch is right. Is that something you train on in the training pitch? Because you're in the box a lot of the time and your first touch has to put you in the positions.
Yeah, and this is also what Pep says to us every day. The best players are the best on the easiest things, as touching it with your right and pass with your left. So this is an important thing, and he says this to me a lot.
Can I ask you about your position tactically? I know sometimes you're making a lot of runs, and maybe from a defender's point of view, we don't look at it and say you've had a great game, but you continually make them runs and just wait for that right moment. How important is it that you keep doing that?
Yeah, I think in the end, what I want to do is to help the team and to make the team work and to get the other players in better positions, you know, to get an extra meter for Bernardo Silva, number 10. And if I can stretch the centre-backs 1 meter, I will do it with the run. And it's hard, but that's my job, and that's why I'm doing.
I have a question for you in terms of your personal development. What is it that you want to improve on as a player this season? You've scored so many goals already, so it's not goals. I'm sure you want to score more, but what else would you want to add to your game?
You know, when you see today all the defenders, how good they play to the midfielders, it looks like Pep will not like me for saying this, but they don't need me playing out, you know, so I can just stand there and watch. But no, of course, to get more involved, that's what Pep wants. But in games like this, do I need to be more involved? I don't know. You know, this is
bring them back a little bit.
A $1 million question, you know. But of course, I want to improve as a overall player. You know, with the ball, I want to give more assists back to the players that give me assists. So I want to become overall better footballer, like a player, not in terms of goals or anything, just a player.
We know you can do that already, man.
It looks like you can do it all already at the moment. Erling, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you coming out. Thank you. Thank you so much. And you mentioned your manager. We'll be hearing from him a bit later on, so we might put that to him when we see him. And then, but it's interesting to hear him saying that. And he's joking. He's like, but you know, sometimes it feels like they don't need me because they're creating everything themselves. But how much of a difference do you see in a side that has? I mean, because we started off before he came in making the comparison with Jackson, but having somebody who in that moment does exactly the right thing, who thinks back to last season, it's been annoying him that Sanchez made the save against him, that he changes that the next thing, that's going through his head.
He's obsessed with scoring goals, and I think that's something he doesn't need to improve on, as we've just said, but you can see that he has it in him that he wants to be more than just a goal scorer. You know, we talked about the little things in terms of the touches and being the best at the simple things. And then also in terms of his overall game, it's like, well, maybe holding up the ball. We're talking about assist play, this and that. So,
thank you very much. Pep Guardiola has joined us. Congratulations. Okay. Great way to start the season with a 2-0 victory. I know you'll never think that your team is going to be at 100%, but how impressed were you with that performance and the way the players
same like you. I didn't expect it. So we are away a little bit from our best, but considering how we are, how we have done the commitment. So it's a good news. The 3 points. The bad news, we have 65 games ahead of us. So this is the bad one.
Yeah, 1 down, 64 left to go. But look, in terms of, you mentioned there about the preparations over this summer. You've had so many players away. It feels like it's almost been a bit of a false start to this Premier League season. So how difficult is it to get the players out here ready to go on this opening day?
We have an advantage. It's 9 seasons together, so we know each other quite well. I know that Bernardo can be tired or whatever, but give you something special. I'm really impressed that performance from Kevin because, it's just 1 week training sessions, and today was, like, I remember the first Kevin when I arrived, he's dynamic, you know, he's dynamic and to play. But everyone, so there is no impossible but what. Of course, there are mistakes that we have to improve and many things, but we talked. So the difference that we be champions, it was our body language, how was our bad moments, how we behave. And in good moments, every football player is really good. It's in the bad moments. In the bad moments that there is during the game, during the season, it's hard to find the big teams. And that's players show. For me, it's an immense privilege. So I cannot be more honored to be a manager of these guys. So they gave me everything to me, everything. The joy, the happiness, the commitment to defend, you know, the club to represent. And I'm so fortunate. I could not say more.
I just want to ask you about the body language. What should we be looking for? What are you looking for from the players in terms of their body language?
There is a plan, defensive, offensive, for the way they play, but after is how we celebrate the good moments, how we help in the bad moments, how we make the backwards, how, you know, this kind of stuff that nobody talk, at the end define the teams. And that's why we were consistent many years, and starting Stamford Bridge, last season we could not win. So start to winning is a just ridiculous step, but it's better the good one than the bad one.
Pep, at the end of the game, I saw you give Rico Lewis a big cuddle. I thought he was magnificent today. Tell us about him.
No, but last season we could not play a lot of games. I said, why I don't make this player play? This player, because we judge him because he's like that. They have a weak point. And long balls, he cannot win the balls. But he saved a goal because always in the position. In a one-on-one defensively is unbelievable. Arriving the final third as a fullback for the channel inside, how many times? In the pockets, he moved like few players I've seen in my life. He scored a goal that we should be disallowed or no. He saved a goal. He does everything good. In one-against-one defensively, block the shoot in the first half in Kunku. He's always ready. He moves inside, outside perfectly. Honestly, Rico is top player.
You're Pep, I'm going to swap microphones with you.
It doesn't work.
Not, yeah, there we go.
It was not important, fans.
Can I ask you about Doku? He started on the right and then he went to the left, and that's where the goal came from as well. What was your idea with that?
I wanted to be honest.
Yes.
So I know that Savio liked to play in right and Doku left. And no matter what happened, I have to put Savio right and Doku left. But I want players to go to attack more the byline, right and left. Yeah. The secret is that they decide. I didn't say anything. In certain point, Doku over there, I said to Juanma, what he's doing? And they change. And after start to play good, and they play good. So that's why I learned that I have to put the players in a position that maybe.
So, Pep, what you say, you're still learning, even now.
I have Bernardo on right, you know, in right side. It's left foot. With left foot, I like with the pockets, the wingers, different foots. I like it, you know, for the channels, for whatever. But at the end, you have to put the players when they feel more comfortable. The other ones is, I learn. Okay.
Pep, looks like you're learning very quickly.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming out to join us. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not.